Swifties have been trying to force their fandom on everyone for far too long, and I've just become so annoyed at this point. From singing on planes, to singing on the streets, to even brainwashing their kids.
I'm drunk in the back of the car and cry like a baby coming home from the bar. Oh.
It needs to stop. But before my body winds up in a dumpster, disclaimer, I am of sound body and mind. Let me just say I don't have a problem with Taylor Swift. I enjoy some of the music that she puts out, like Cruel Summer is kinda catchy, and she seems like a good enough person, at least based on the propaganda I've seen online. But her fans are way too much for me, and a lot of them come across as very, cultish. Like, I could definitely see them getting together on a Sunday night and start singing hymns in front of a burning statue of Taylor Swift. It's kinda creepy. I mean, this fan literally replaced Jesus with, just watch the video.
Brother, ugh.
And what about this fan just bawling her eyes out and being so overly dramatic when she saw her concert?
The feeling I have been searching for my entire life, for as long as I can remember, because suddenly, all went quiet, and I felt safe.
Like what? I get it if your dad just came home from Afghanistan, but a blonde lady just walking around on a raised platform singing? This is just way over the top, and I'm gonna be forever confused on why people worship her. Like, Taylor Swift does not know the names of her fans, how old they are, or anything personal about them, like if they like soccer or if they enjoy watching Bridgerton. She knows absolutely nothing about them, and the fans have gotta stop. Personally, I listen to a ton of music. I listen to anything and everything, even frickin' soundscapes. What the fuck? Yeah, it's weird, I know. But you would not see me waiting for the newly released music of Taylor Swift and becoming so overjoyed that I have a literal aneurysm.
Wait.
Swifties are just a different species though, aren't they? And before I go on, let me just say that no, I don't have a problem with fans liking her songs or going out for a concert to enjoy a good time. For example, during the Eras Tour in 2023, Taylor Swift had a full house at the Lincoln Financial Field, a stadium that holds 70,000 for 3 nights in a row. An insane turnout for a concert. Oh, and there were thousands of dedicated fans in the parking lot that couldn't even get in to see the show. Like, this is pretty cool in my opinion, and we all like to just turn our brains off and maybe let the body bust a move or two. Shit, I mean, at least Swiftie fans aren't mass rioting like the Eagles fans after they won the Super Bowl. However, there is definitely a difference between listening to an artist's music and literally worshiping them, which many of these Swifties do. Like, a Reddit user made a post talking about how they lost a friend to Taylor Swift, writing, "A friend of mine of 10 years is a major Swiftie to the point where I've quietly distanced myself from her. My friend has always loved Taylor Swift, but until a few years ago, it wasn't a big deal. Then she became obsessed." Some of the examples of her behavior include she has watched live streams of the Eras Tour every single night. She posts up to 20 to 30 times a day about Taylor Swift and talks about nothing else. She kept pushing me to listen to more of her music. I told her nicely that her music simply isn't my taste, and I've heard a lot of it. She accused me of being anti-feminist because I simply don't care for her music. I said nothing negative about her as a person or as an artist, just that I don't care for her music. Her last 2 boyfriends dumped her because she made them schedule date nights only when there wasn't an Eras Tour concert to livestream. The final straw was her recently telling me she couldn't believe I'd still like Billie Eilish's music when she said what she said about the Eras Tour. I told her I just like Billie's music. And it isn't that deep. She kept arguing. The kicker? She is a 40-year-old grown-ass mother of 2. Wow. I feel so bad for the kids here. Like, they probably aren't even getting a lullaby sung to them. They probably get Blank Space or Shake It Off on the repeat. Now, some of you may be thinking that the mother should just stop it all and cut Taylor off, as she seems to have lost her marbles a little bit, but it ain't that easy. A Reddit user talked about their difficult experiences after leaving the Swiftie cult, writing, "I was a devoted years-long Swiftie. This time last year, my entire social circle was centered around Taylor Swift. All of my coworkers were Swifties, my boss was a Swiftie, half of the people at my 21st birthday were Swifties. I converted my then roommate into a Swiftie, and I was close with the president of my university's Taylor Swift Society." That's next level. It was insane, but I thought it was normal. Then the Matt Healy thing happened, I got disillusioned with her, and I couldn't stand all of the gaslighting about his racism, so I stopped hanging out with all the Swifties in my life. We stopped talking, and my social life actually tanked. I got depressed about it, and I even had a few mental health crises over the complete destruction of my social life, and tried to harm myself. Thinking back, it's so fucking weird, it's literal cult behavior. I was basically going through cult deconditioning. This is just sad at this point. There shouldn't be friendships ruined over Taylor Swift, and it shouldn't be this difficult for people to break away from it all. And the fact Swifties are all over TikTok is making it that much easier for people to join in on the cult.
Everyone's talking about that picture of Taylor Swift yelling at Travis.
I remember when we broke up
The first time,
saying this shit ain't enough.
cause like
We hadn't seen each other in a month.
when you
Said you
needed
space.
My little sister said it best when she said, "We are so lucky that Taylor Swift is a benevolent force." Like, she has such a pull on us. Like, when we're at the concerts, we're doing all the things. 1, 2, 3, let's go, bitch. Like, the entire stadium. She has.
Pause. Actually, I take that back. It can't be that easy. Kidding aside though, Swifties have to become more open-minded and bring their fandom level from DEFCON level 1 to DEFCON level 5. Because Taylor has made some questionable decisions. She is human after all. For example, remember that time back in 2010 when she released her song Dear John?
No.
Well, she wrote a song about singer-songwriter John Mayer, and he really didn't like how she had written a song about him. He was embarrassed about it, and it made him feel terrible, and heck, didn't even know it was happening. He never got a call from Taylor Swift, an email, nothing. It's one thing to break up with someone, but to make it public and share it with the whole world without telling them first is messed up. And just as an FYI, but she has done this to almost every boyfriend she's had in her life. She's had at least 30 songs written about a past boyfriend. I get it, if a boyfriend was a real jerk and cheated on you, or wasn't nice to you or something, fine, write a song about him, I don't care. But 30 songs? I mean, here's the list, holy shit. And I can't answer this, but I've always wondered if she just gets into these relationships just to break them off and write a song about her ex because she just rakes in the dough from it. Like, this guy I think might be onto something.
I think Taylor Swift, from the very, very beginning of her career, has planned to date all of these high-up people, create a massive hype on it, on the media. For example, Jake Gyllenhaal, she dates him, she breaks up with him, she comes out with a new album about their relationship, and then she dates Harry Styles, does the same thing, she dates another 6 or 7 guys and does the same thing. I think Taylor Swift has had it in her head from the beginning that she's going to date all these people just for content.
And the other thing that kind of bothers me, and not to bring up famous people dating minors again, because I'd like all of that to be in the past, but Taylor cut it close. She was in a relationship with Connor Kennedy, yeah, a member of the famous Kennedy family, and he was probably a minor when they were dating. Check out these photos of them vacationing at the Kennedy compound. Like, they look touchy-feely. They look like a couple. The interesting thing about this is check out the date of the article, July 31st, 2012. And if you go to the caption here, you see last weekend. So these photos were probably taken around like the 23rd to 25th, and Connor Kennedy was born July 24th, 1994. So he just turned 18. And Taylor Swift was 23 at the time. I'm not that experienced, but I think most people would know that you just don't get that close to a person in a day. They were dating for months at least. So at one point, he was a 17-year-old high schooler, and she was 23, which is kind of gross in my opinion, but she's Taylor Swift and it's fine. Like, if she looked like Emperor Palpatine, she would 100% get shit for it, but because she's an attractive woman and her last name is Swift, she's got a free pass to do it. So there's kind of a double standard here, and I'm not saying the stuff she did was the worst and she deserves to be in jail for it. I mean, it's not like she sold crack cocaine to little Wan Ming on a street corner, but some of this is in a gray area and at the very least should be a discussion among Swifties. However, they're just going to ignore it and probably dislike this video to oblivion. And me talking about it isn't going to change anything. Swifties are still going to be around. They're going to spread. They're going to breed. They're probably going to take over the world. It won't stop, and I don't have any more energy to talk about Swifties. I'm gonna go make myself a cheeseburger here.